There once was a majestic lion, the king of the jungle, who sat proudly atop a sun-drenched savanna hill. His golden mane flowed in the wind around him. Animated jungle animals, zebras, elephants, and parrots gathered in admiration. You see, this wasn't just any lion. It was a hand-drawn lion, a two-dimensional cutout animated in the style of the early 1900s. And yet, despite his simple design, he had more charisma and presence than 99% of the animated characters we see today. The scene was straight out of a dream, cinematic and stylized in that classic Disney way, yet with a modern, epic twist. Talk about a legacy. So, yeah, this lion may be just a two-dimensional cutout, but he's a legend, a true original, an icon. His golden mane flows about him like a molten crown, catching the light of the sun and turning it into a shimmering halo around his head. A herd of zebras with their distinctive black and white stripes stand proud and tall, their heads held high in respect for their regal leader. And yet there is something missing, something that doesn't quite feel right. It's almost as if we're missing a piece of the puzzle. We know this is supposed to be a scene of great beauty and wonder, but we can't quite put our finger on what's missing. An old, wise elephant with weathered skin and tusks stands beside them, trunk raised in salute. To answer that question, we need to look back to the beginning, to the time when the lion was just a cub. He learned which plants were safe to eat and which ones would make him sick. He learned how to hunt and how to defend himself against predators. He learned the lay of the land, the best places to find food and to protect his home and his family from those who would do them harm. It was a sad day for the jungle, but it was also a necessary one. Nothing in the natural world lasts forever. He stood on a rock, his paws on a tree, his tail held high in the air, and let out a mighty roar that echoed across the savanna. It was a roar that announced to the entire jungle that a new era had begun. And it was time for the young lion to take his place as the new king. He worked tirelessly, honing his skills, making alliances, and gathering followers. And as he did, he grew in strength and wisdom. And water, and the secrets of the jungle that had been passed down from father to son for generations. If you liked this tale, don't forget to give us a thumbs up and leave a comment below. We always appreciate your feedback and can't wait to hear what you thought of the story. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss out on any of our future uploads. Thank you for joining us on this magical journey, and we'll see you next time. He is the king, and this is his kingdom. The sun shines down on his golden mane, making it glow like a beacon. The zebras are proud and strong, their stripes shimmering in the light. Along the way, he encountered a variety of jungle creatures, some friendly and some not so friendly. With his quick wit and courage, Mowgli managed to navigate the treacherous terrains and avoid dangerous predators. He befriended a wise old elephant named Hathi and a playful monkey named Bagheera, who aided him on his quest. Finally, after many days of searching, Mowgli located the red flower and triumphantly returned to King Louie. Louie, impressed by Mowgli's determination and respect for the jungle, apologized for his prejudice and welcomed Mowgli as a friend. Mowgli became a bridge between the animals and humans, promoting understanding and harmony between them. And so the legend of Mowgli, the boy who lived with wolves and befriended a king, echoed through the ages. The elephants are wise and gentle, their tusks gleaming like ivory swords. The parrots are colorful and chatty, their feathers a riot of hues. And the warthogs are stout and determined, their snouts pointed towards the horizon. When the young lion was born, the entire jungle rejoiced. He began to explore beyond the borders of his father's territory, venturing into new parts of the jungle, meeting new animals and learning new skills. Mowgli was no ordinary boy, for he was raised by a pack of wolves and was considered one of their own. Despite being human, he had a deep connection with the jungle and its inhabitants. One day, while playing with his wolf siblings, Mowgli stumbled upon a clearing where he encountered the majestic King Louie. Louie was a powerful and respected leader, but he harbored a deep resentment towards humans due to their destructive ways. Despite this, Mowgli introduced himself and expressed his love for the jungle. Impressed by Mowgli's sincerity, Louie decided to test him and asked him to bring him the red flower, an extremely rare and valuable orchid that grew deep within the uncharted territories of the jungle. He had learned the value of courage and determination, of patience and cunning. And he had learned that even in the darkest of times, hope must never be abandoned. But as he grew, so did the danger he faced. There were other predators in the jungle, animals who saw the young lion as nothing more than prey. There were rival prides of lions who would stop at nothing to claim the best hunting grounds for themselves. And there were humans, outsiders who didn't understand or care about the delicate balance of the jungle and who posed a threat to all of its inhabitants. The zebras stamped their hooves, the elephants trumpeted their approval, and the parrots flew overhead in a V formation, their squawks echoing the joy of the moment. The lion cub was the hope of the future, the one who would carry on the legacy of his father, the previous king. On the branches of a nearby tree, a flock of colorful parrots squawk and screech, their feathers ruffled by the wind. They chatter excitedly, eager to share the news of the great lion with the rest of the jungle. And below them, on the ground, a pair of warthogs root around in the dirt, snorting and squealing with delight. This is the king of the jungle, the one and only Mufasa. He doesn't need to be remade or rebooted. He doesn't need to be part of some big franchise. He is complete and perfect as he is. It's a sound that echoes across the savannah, shaking the very foundations of the jungle. As the sound waves ripple outward from his mouth, the animals around him stir. The zebras whinny and paw the ground, their tails swishing nervously. The elephants trumpets loudly, its ears flapping like sails on a ship. The parrots fall silent, their feathers ruffled by the force of the lion's voice. Even the warthogs freeze in their tracks, their snorts and squeals turning into whimpers. And that's why he will always be the king, the one and only king of the jungle, the one and only king of animation. They could learn a thing or two about storytelling, about pacing, about making the audience care about the characters on screen. Back when they were an actual form of entertainment, not just a cash grab. The lion's roar is more than just a sound. It's a declaration, a statement of his power and authority. He is the king of the jungle, and there is no one else who can match him. He represented a time when less was more, when a simple story told well was enough to keep audiences engaged. No crazy plot twists or hidden cameos needed. This lion didn't need those things because he was already so damn cool. Because let's face it, most modern animated movies are just noise and nonsense. They're all flashy lights and fast-paced action. But what do they have to say? What is the point of them? What is the point of the endless sequels, remakes, and spin-offs? Who are these movies really for? The sky glowed with the warm hues of a setting sun, casting heroic shadows on the ground below. And as the lion let out a mighty roar, it was clear to all who heard it that he was the undisputed king, not just of the jungle, but of animation itself. In fact, when you think about it, there's a lot of modern animated movies that could take a cue from this old lion. This old lion, on the other hand, he was a throwback to a time when animated movies were made for everyone. He was the star of his own movie, a movie that was nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars. The sun beats down on the savannah. From his perch atop a small rise, a great lion surveys his domain. Around him are gathered many of the animals from the jungle, all there to pay homage to their mighty king. This is a majestic scene, a celebration of the power and glory of the lion, the king of the jungle. And then, as if sensing our confusion, the lion lets out a mighty roar. In that moment, we understand what was missing. This isn't just a scene of beauty and wonder. It's also a scene of power and majesty. But who is he? And why is he so important? From the first moment he could walk, the little lion was trained in the ways of the jungle. As the cub grew older, he became more confident, more sure of himself. But the young lion was ready. He had learned well from his father and the other wise animals of the jungle. Through it all, the young lion never lost sight of his goal, to one day become the king of the jungle. Then came the day when the current king, the young lion's father, died. With the support of his mother, the matriarch of the pride, and the respect of the other animals, the young lion was crowned king. Now, as we look out over the savannah once more, we see that the lion is no longer just a young cub. This is the king of the jungle, the one and only Mufasa. And this is his story. Once upon a time in the lush and vibrant jungle lived a young boy named Mowgli. Determined to prove himself, Mowgli embarked on a perilous journey. We hope you enjoyed the story of Mowgli and his adventures in the jungle.